One thing that I found as an adult is that adulting is hard, first of all. There are days when I remember my 6-year-old self being like, I can't wait to be an adult. I'll eat cake all day. Now, the idea of cake is like a protein cake batter shake, right? Like the idea of that much sugar so early in the morning makes your stomach churn. But there is the idea of, as an adult, the biggest thing I've learned is that you have to put yourself in some form of practice, right? So, one of the things that I'm horrible at is note taking during meetings. I may have paper, I might have a white pad, I might have a sticky notes. I got them like all over because I'm trying to be focused and I'm trying to take notes at the same time and it's not working. I learned I had to take a different practice. I had to force myself into a different routine of behavior of how I'm going to do that. And it started by outlining a plan. But it's the same thing of putting yourself in a practice. I'm going to put myself in a practice of first call resolution. Every time the phone rings, I'm going to sit right here and make sure that call happens to completion until I hit a roadblock. I'm going to put myself into practice of, hey, every time someone calls in, I want to do a quick review of their account. I'm going to put myself in practice of not saying I'm so busy. I'm going to put myself in practice of doing these things because the practices are what gets us to be really different. The idea that it's a light switch, gosh, I left that a long time ago. Nothing worth it is that easy. I wish it was. We'd all be doing it, right? The easy button totally doesn't exist except at Staples. So identify, like, you're going to have to put some work into it. And that work starts by putting a piece of your brain front and center and on it. Because so often the things we want to do, we just forget. Like we get to the end of the day, we beat ourselves up, and we come in the next day not our best selves because we're disappointed in ourselves. The best way to keep yourself out of disappointment is to identify that I have to put myself in a practice of something. And don't do 700 practices all at once. You'll fail, and that's terrible. Instead, identify I have to put myself in the practice. I have to get this practice, this habit, this ritual, this routine, whatever you want to call it. Humans are designed to be routine people. But whether it's making renewal review calls, following up with leads 6 times, or just starting off by saying I'm going to make 2 asks a day to inbound calls, if you put yourself in that practice, you'll start to see results. And results are what fuel us ultimately. So remember, 30 days of practice equals results. So find out, go to your team leader, if you're an agency owner, say, what's the one thing we want to get in practice of? And if you can get everybody in practice, and by the way, the first week's the choppiest ever. It's amazing. Like in agencies we work with, I'm always like the first week, I forgot I didn't. And people are pretty honest about it. But now they know next week we're going to talk about it again and again and again. And it kind of clicks in because accountability works. If you've really enjoyed our videos, the best thing that you can do is kind of find us on social media. We have got tons of social media resources out there, but we'd love to engage with your agency. We've got options for both virtual coach training, on-site training, and in our new school if you want to do it all yourself. So whatever you've got going on, make sure that you check us out and you combine the idea of training, coaching, tracking, and accountability is really what's going to get your agency into these practices of either making renewal review calls or of a great sales process, or even all those pesky time management skills. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow.